Millions of people are struggling to put food on the table. A handful of billionaires are becoming much richer. We're going to talk about the obscenity of the 50 wealthiest Americans now owning more wealth than the bottom half of our society. 50 people, half of our people, 160 million people.
Today on Capitol Hill, the Senate Budget Committee put the spotlight on income inequality as millions continue to file for unemployment and millions more struggle to make ends meet. The hearing comes during the middle of a major union vote at an Amazon warehouse in Alabama. And as the Brookings Institution puts it, the vote on whether to unionize is about more than money. It's about dignity, racial justice, and the future of the American worker. An Amazon employee and union advocate who works at the Alabama warehouse testified today and told lawmakers exactly what it's like to work for the world's second richest man, Jeff Bezos.
My workday feels like a 9-hour intense workout every day, and they track our every move. If your computer isn't scanning, you get charged with being time off task. From the onset, I learned that if I worked too slow or had too much time off task, I could be disciplined or even fired. Why can't a large and wealthy company do better for their workers?
Joining me now is Sara Nelson. She is the president of the Association of Flight Attendants and toured the Amazon facility in Alabama today. Sara, what did you see when you were at the facility today?
Well, we've had tornadoes down here today, so I haven't been to the facility yet, but I was in the Union Hall when Jennifer Bates was testifying there before the Senate Budget Committee and talked with the workers, had lunch with them, spent all day with them. And, you know, this is really about dignity of work. This is about the fact that you cannot write off the South. This is about the fact that you have to recognize that people cannot even rent an apartment in the Birmingham area on $15 an hour. Jeff Bezos would like to say that he's for all this social justice, for Black lives, for women's rights, for voting rights, but he's against the union, which is where people have the power to actually demand those rights and have those rights at work. And so he's not for his own workers having those rights at Amazon and bargaining for a living wage and having decency and respect at work and being certain that they're not going to be fired at the whim of the app that they have to report to.
It's so important. Did you get any indication when you were talking with the workers on how the union vote will go? Do you have any idea how this might turn out?
Well, there is a ton of excitement on the ground, and what I'm hearing is that everyone is for the union. Now, we have to recognize that this has been a 7-week-long voting period. Amazon has put out all kinds of disinformation. There's police presence at the warehouse itself, which is intimidating. They've got individual supervisor meetings. They've hired an additional several number of supervisors and brought them actually from all over the world to watch the workers and be talking to them all the time. Using both carrot and stick mentality in the workplace. And the workers, though, that have been outspoken and have been agitating for the union are some of the longest serving workers in the workplace, because Amazon knows that those who are standing up and have the union behind them and have their rights protected by the union are going to stand up and hold Amazon accountable, and it will make the workers even more powerful. So those workers, like Jennifer Bates, who testified today, are fighting for their rights at work, and they are really feeling very good about their chances down here. The community support has been incredible. People see this as a civil rights movement right here in Alabama. Mm-hmm. We should not be writing off the South. That is for sure.
Well, it's so interesting because in American history, the March on Washington, people should know that was a march for jobs and justice. And so the connection between the labor movement and the civil rights movement, it intersects. Again, going back to intersectionality. What does it mean to have a pro-union president like Joe Biden come into the White House? Does that change the dynamics when it comes to a union vote at a company like Amazon?
Well, listen, this just really helps the workers understand that what they're hearing from the union is true and what they're hearing from Amazon is false. Amazon has been breaking the laws, and they feel that they're above the law and they can keep control over the workers and treat them as disposable and talk about them as a line item rather than human beings. And so having the President of the United States on your side and people like Stacey Abrams and Bernie Sanders and other people who are speaking up, celebrities who are speaking up and supporting them. All of that is very helpful. And they are getting support from all over the world. I'll tell you, at the Union Hall today, we had reporters from all over the world covering this story and all over the country. Everybody is very interested. This is a David and Goliath moment, but you know, the union really gives working people power. And they're starting to understand that this is the answer. And you are exactly right. The March on Washington was a march for jobs and justice. And so we've got to finish that work by making sure that people have the right to have a union. Union density has been on the decline since then. But I'll tell you, Zerlina, we got a workers' first package in the CARES Act last March. The aviation unions did. We're 80% unionized. 80% of the workers in aviation are unionized. And even under the Trump and McConnell regime, we had enough power to negotiate with the corporations to make sure that any relief package could only go to worker pay and benefits. So this is the solution for democracy at work. It's the solution for democracy in our politics and the ability for people to actually participate and take on even the most powerful people in the world.
It's so important. I mean, the power of the collective, it's so underappreciated. And I think there are so many examples throughout American history that show if you stand together with people with shared goals and common interests, you can change the world. That is, and so unions, for me, it's all about the power of the collective and those of us who all have, you know, similar interests and you know, rights that we want justice for. Sara Nelson, thank you so much for being here tonight and for helping us understand what's going on in Alabama. Hi, I'm Zerlina Maxwell. Thanks for checking out our channel on YouTube. You can see more from Zerlina by clicking any of the videos on this screen, and make sure you subscribe below to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. Thanks for watching.